Joining us here is in the studio is Tamer Qarmout, Professor of Public Policy at the Doha Institute for Graduate Studies. Thanks again for joining us. Let's just stick with Jake Sullivan's trip to the region to begin with. I mean, the Americans have reiterated that they want Israel to lower the intensity of its war in Gaza, but Israel has pushed back time and time again, saying they're going to continue until they have, quote, this Netanyahu's, quote, absolute victory. It doesn't appear at this stage, no matter what the US says, that Israel is going to listen. They're going to continue doing whatever they want. Is that how you see it?
Yes, Tom. I mean, obviously, both Israel and the US are still united over the same goal, which is toppling down Hamas. And that's a big goal to achieve. I mean, in my perspective, it's unrealistic goal. I mean, let's just imagine this scenario. I mean, militarily, of course, I mean, Israel has the upper hand. I mean, it will take more time, you know, the military conduct of Israel might be softer in the next coming month, but eventually they could end Hamas militarily. But still, Hamas is an idea. Hamas is a political ideology. So let's just assume this happens, and a reformed PA takes over the Gaza Strip. And then, of course, the US is the guardian of democracy in the world, correct? And then Palestinians organize elections again, and Hamas wins. I mean, according to many reports, I mean, Hamas popularity in the West Bank is
we saw the poll numbers out yesterday show it's increasing in Gaza and in the occupied West Bank.
So again, what's going to happen next? I mean, if we see another Hamas coming back again through the elections door, what they're going to do next? So the question here is, again, the US has helped Israel to commit to an unrealistic goal, which is the eradication of Hamas, instead of opening a political path for Israel to engage with Hamas. And by this, I mean, there is no way to bring peace to Palestine if a major political party like Hamas is not engaged with politically. And the US, instead of supporting Israel to commit to this unrealistic goal, it should help Israel to get down the tree, also help Hamas also to get involved in a political process by removing the veto on Hamas and labeling it as a terrorist organization, the veto on Hamas over the Palestinian reconciliation, meaning allow Palestinian reconciliation to materialize, and then you will have two legit, solid partners. This should be the approach the US be advocating for, instead of siding by Israel and helping Israel with this unrealistic, crazy plan, I would say.
Well, Jake Sullivan is due to meet Israeli President Herzog in the next few hours. I mean, they're obviously going to be talking about some sort of political solution, but that is seeming unlikely at this point in time, because even the president is now pushing back against any idea of a two-state solution.
The entire Israeli political mainstream, I mean, they're pushing, I mean, not even pushing against this. I mean, now they say that Oslo was a mistake. So then this brings us where? To nowhere, exactly. So then you have the US, the international community, committed to creating a Palestinian state, a free, independent Palestinian state that lives in peace side by side to Israel. But they're not doing anything when it comes to real mechanisms to influencing Israel, pressuring Israel to engage in peace, for this to happen. And that's the problem. They're going around and around. But the elephant in the room is you have an Israeli rejection that is coming from a right-wing fanatic religious government that is not willing to engage even with Oslo now. They want to diminish Oslo, to kill Oslo even, and reoccupy Palestinian territories. So it's the ugly truth now coming very blunt in the face of the Americans, the international community. And sadly, they have engaged with this. They have created this status quo because they have engaged with Israeli policies that have avoided peace, that have not committed to any peace commitments. So the U.S. is I mean, it's in a difficult position. And at the same time, it's an elections year in the U.S.
Yes.
And I'm aware that neither the Democrats nor the Republicans are willing to take a risk to antagonize Israel. So big questions and big decisions to come.
I guess on that point, though, President Biden will want this to be wrapped up, as we've heard, as soon as possible, so that they can basically shift this issue in the United States to one side and focus on domestic issues. Is that basically the main reason that we've been hearing more and more that this war needs to end from the US point of view?
I think there are two things here. I mean, the U.S. is embarrassed by the conduct of this war and the crazy way Israel has conducted this war, inhumanely. And there is a growing public pressure, of course. They're losing Arab American voters. I mean, the risk is serious. Chicago is probably off the hook now. So yes, they're playing into this now. So it's damage control now and containment. That's the US position.
Okay, thank you so much, Tamer. We really do appreciate your time. We'll talk to you again throughout the day here.